If anybody believes that politics is about looking after you and I, then you are gravely, gravely mistaken. Politics is really about a popularity contest, and the problem is it's whether your face fits, whether whatever. And as I pointed out earlier this week, I recently wrote to my local MP. I'm still waiting for that particular date. 2 weeks down the line this has taken because, well, they've got time to write for local magazines and local newspapers, but actually doing the job and meeting the constituents, that's way down the list. You will wait until they're ready because they may be invited to something better. They're busy in London during the week, living the high life. They don't really want to deal with the plebs in the constituencies. Well, I could be wrong, but why does it take 2 weeks? It's a little bit like this man, the Right Honourable current British Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer. He's given away millions of your tax money to try and do this. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good to see you, chums. Thank you so much for your time, as ever. I hope you're keeping well. It's a funny thing, isn't it? When you look at sort of politics, because our era, we remember them because television was set times. This is my belief. Tell me if you agree with this. But, news came on at 5:45, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and you had a snapshot of them, and they didn't offer an opinion. Now, every newscaster is offering an opinion. Oh, this or that. And they're all biased, I mean, they recently had over on BBC Newsnight, Kate Burley. Remember the woman who used to be on Sky, right? Left after 36 years of Sky, right? Yeah.
I think for Nigel Farage, he can't be taken seriously if he looks reckless with the economy. And he's seen to be swapping from, politics of protest to politics of prudence. For decades, he's been the Millwall equivalent of politicians. Everybody hates him, he doesn't care. And now he realises that he cannot win an election. It's the economy, stupid, as somebody famous once said. And he has to get the economy right if he's hoping to win the election. The immigration and asylum, of course, is very important, but people care how much money they've got at the end of the week.
Are you worried, Mark Seward?
No, the thing is, they asked her about Nigel Farage reform, etc. This is a woman who literally was delighted when Keir Starmer got in office, made all those strange noises on camera. So she's not, she's biased, end of. But no, we'll book her on, it's the BBC. Over in 10 Downing Street, they've got a problem because they've looked at the popularity of people, for instance, like Kemi Badenoch and the leader of Reform UK, Nigel Farage. And, of course, in the interest of impartiality, I've known Nigel for many years. He comes to my studio. He's a nice guy. We get on well. We don't talk politics. We talk about everything else. But, this is the way it is. Now, what's interesting with Nigel is he has an expert team around him, particularly in communications. And they're very clever at absolutely getting on board the message, right? Whether you like it or not. But one of the most interesting things that they did was to try and increase the sort of look towards the younger people. They're never interested in us oldies, are they? Always want the younger people because they believe they're the next voters and they're right on that, right? Now, what's interesting, Nigel, as you know, a couple of years back appeared on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. And this really was his way of connecting with a bigger audience, a younger audience. And this really shot up his TikTok presence, which is a social media platform, right? And this was very clever because that really galvanized young people towards Reform UK. Now, Keir Starmer, 2 years down the line, never quick, has realised, well, he needs to do that. So he's spending millions and millions of money trying to get influencers on board. For instance, when Rachel Reeves, yes, the woman who can't add up and doesn't know her own CV, recently did a press conference, the only questions she took from the front row were from planted influencers, right? Because they had an influencer party at Downing Street recently, and that's how they procured those people, 100%. I'm right, Downing Street, come and say differently. I was there, so I know exactly what you did. Now, the bottom line is this, right? And this is where it gets interesting. Now, Keir Starmer is trying to get the TikTok vote by putting this sort of stuff out. The problem that you've got is that, even the younger generation don't know what Keir Starmer stands for. They think he's a little bit of a fuddy-duddy. He dresses badly. He's not articulate. They don't understand his message. Now, Keir Starmer and Nigel Farage are a similar age, so why does it work for one and not the other? Well, Nigel's not afraid to make fun of himself. You know, he'll laugh, he's very sort of amenable when you meet him, and he wants to basically connect with the audience. Keir Starmer looks terrified if you ask him anything that goes off camera. You get the picture. So it doesn't really matter, and people know this behind the scenes of 10 Downing Street. They know that they are going to rinse that gravy train dry because they know that Keir Starmer is a dot. He will not get them back into office, but he's spending as much money as possible trying to be liked. But as I've often said, it's not about being popular, it's about what you deliver. And sadly for Keir, is delivering nothing that the public want to hear, including the Gen Z generation. It's a developing story. When I know more, you'll know more. Neil Sean, Kensington, London.